How to find your photography niche, 10 top tips from me to you. Yes, hi, Rick here, creator and indeed all things at the splendid Photography Explained podcast. Now, in this video, I'm going to pick up the answery bit of episode 187. Blimey, 187 episodes. How did that happen? First off, well, now it happened, don't it? That's a bit of a stupid question. Right, first off, here is the answery bit. To be the best at one photography thing, you must decide what that one photography thing is. This is how you can find your perfect photography niche. So here's the 10 things. 1. Decide what you want photography to be to you. 2. Consider anything you might ever possibly want to take photos of. 3. Choose a few things that you enjoy and are interested in. 4. Can these things give you what you want out of your photography? Ask yourself that question. 5. Practice all those things until one thing pops up as the favourite, and it will, trust me. 6. Phone versus camera, decision time. Yep, it's time. 7. Now do that one thing to the very best of your ability. 8. Refine your image capture technique. 9. Refine your camera gear and settings. 10. Refine your processing. Right, those were the 10 things. Yes, that was a list I was reading out to you from my script, but now I'm going to talk about them in turn, one by one, without a script. So firstly, decide what you want photography to be to you. Well, is it just for fun? Is it a hobby? Are you happy being an amateur photographer? Do you like just taking photos with your phone? Do you just like taking snaps, as somebody says, just to wind me up? Or do you want to be a full-time photographer? Do you want to make a living from photography? Do you want photography to be your thing? Do you want photography to be that? Well, whatever it is that you want it to be, that's absolutely fine. That's your business, of course, but it will determine how you approach this. If it's just a hobby, you're doing it for fun, you can carry on at your own pace doing whatever you want, whenever you want, which is nice. If you need to make a full-time living in 12 months, you've got to get stuck in now and go all in. But wherever you are in that scale, there's two ends to this scale and there's a massive bit in the middle where most of us are. But if you're just doing this for fun, this will help you to become a better photographer, so it all applies. 2. Consider anything you might ever possibly want to take photos of. Well, you've got to if you think about it, haven't you? To decide what you don't want to take photos of, you've got to think about them. So think as broadly as you can do. Check out episode 32, what are the 20 most popular types of photography, where I give you, not surprisingly, 20 types of photography. And there's a load of other episodes after that if you want to know any more. So check that out, have a think, but don't rule anything out. Look on the internet, find all the different types of photography, because you never know what you're going to find that might interest you, that you might not have thought about. And once you've done that, choose a few things you enjoy and are interested in. Now, don't go all in on something that you hate. Don't start taking photographs of dogs if you hate dogs. Do something that you're interested in and you enjoy, because you'll do it better and you'll enjoy it, okay? It might sound obvious, but it just needs saying. Okay, 4. Can these things give you what you want out of your photography? Well, can they indeed? Now, obviously, it depends what it is. If you're not that bothered and you just want to get out and take photos that you enjoy, you're fine. If you need to get a full-time living, you need to find something that will give you regular work, frequent work that pays you enough money. So if you're thinking of making a living photographing the solar eclipse, you've got a problem, haven't you? There's a big old problem with that. But if you want to make a living from photography and you decided you want to become a wedding photographer, absolutely fine. There is a market for that. There are other challenges, of course, with being a wedding photographer, but there's a market, there's an ongoing demand. It's a good thing to get into if that's what you fancy. I'll let you into a secret. I did one wedding once. I won't be doing a second one. Not for me. 5. Practice all those things until one pops up as a favourite. This will happen. Practice, practice, practice. Because what this gives you, you don't know what it's like to do something until you actually do it. And the more you do it, the better you get, the more proficient you get, and the more you'll know if you enjoy it or not. So practice, practice, practice until, and yes, I say this in my script, your preferred type of photography pops up and says, "Hi, it's me." Yes, really, that's in my script. I know, it's a worry, isn't it? 6, phone versus camera, decision time. Yes, it's time. If you want to make a living from photography, get a camera. Get 2 cameras, because one's not enough, because you need a backup. You need a backup of everything. If you're just happy wandering around taking photos with your phone, stick with your phone. But you need to choose which are you going to do. And I'm happy to say this. I've said it before. I'll say it again. You can take better photos with a camera than you can with a phone. There you go. I've said it again. 7, do that one thing to the very best of your ability. Once you've decided, just do it. Keep on going at it. Practice, practice, practice. Keep working at it. Study what you've done. Look at your images. Just keep on working at it. And that leads me nicely into number 8. Refine your image capture technique. Now, the more you do something, the more refined your image capture technique will be. You'll get into a rhythm taking that type of photo. Now, I used to take photos of anything and everything for anybody at any time. So I had a load of different things I was doing, and they all needed slightly different approaches. Now, I know you might just think, well, I'm only putting my camera to my eye and pressing the shutter button. There's more to it than that. And I photograph buildings, and I do the odd landscape and stuff like that. But everything I do, it's a similar approach. I'm taking photos of things that aren't moving using similar gear. I'll get onto gear in a minute. So refine your image capture technique. My image capture technique is so well refined, I don't really need to think about it. It's like an automatic thing to me. Gear. Refine your camera gear and settings. I photograph buildings. My camera's on a tripod. I don't need fast lenses. I hate the term fast lenses, by the way. I don't need an f2 maximum aperture. f4's fine for me, which means my lenses are smaller, less bulky, and cheaper. What's not to love, eh? If you're doing one type of photography, you only need one set of gear. If you're doing everything, you need loads of gear, and I've been there and it's horrible. And number 10, refine your processing. Same as image capture and gear, you process different types of images in different ways. And I've got a workflow which is very specific for the work that I do. I don't even follow the same workflow for landscape photos, and there's a very good reason for that. It's not one for now, but refine your processing. Now, you can't do any of these things if you're photographing all different types of things all the time. You just can't do it. Right, that was the answery bit. I'm not going to go into the talky bit now because it's going to take far too long. So I'm going to stop there and say, I hope you found this informative. Check out the full episode on this channel. Like this video, comment, subscribe so you find out next time I post something. And I will say thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing some time with me. Take care. Stay safe. Cheers from me, Rick.